So in recent years, we've come to describe the way we work as the Thistle approach. What do we mean by the Thistle approach? Well, in essence, the approach is definitely person-centred. Indeed, the kind of work we've done maybe over the last 20 years at Thistle has been striving towards that person-centred approach where people are at the heart of things and our relationships with people are as positive and productive as they possibly can be. However, the fact we've kind of been working on it for maybe 20 years is a bit of a clue to one of the issues about this approach. It's undoubtedly the right way to work with human beings, undoubtedly the best way to try and work and bring out the best in yourself and other people. However, it can be really tough to do day in, day out. It's hard sometimes to go beyond the language of the values which underpin it and actually try to turn them into a daily experience that we all experience, and that the folks who we're working alongside and are in relationship with are also consistently experiencing. This is not an easy talk to walk. I think anybody who thinks it is has perhaps not tried to do it for very long, or perhaps hasn't tried to do it properly. So we've come at Thistle to try and understand this approach in the context of three different practices which we think are absolutely interlinked, absolutely complement each other, but all need to be there if we're to truly consistently be an organisation which is person-centred at its heart. So the first of those practices is practicing person-centredness. I'll say a wee bit more about that in a moment. The second is supporting self-organisation. And the third is working on well-being. So come back to the first, practicing person-centredness. As I say, something that's quite easy, and a lot of organisations will have this in their kind of mission statements and the way that they're branding their material. But actually it's pretty hard to consistently listen to others with an absolute resolute intent to try and understand where they're coming from, to try and use empathy as a bridge and a connection with other people to help work with them in the best possible way and to help them get the best possible outcomes. To be able to work with folks in a way that you are accepting of them and their difference, that you respect them fully as human beings. In every case and in every situation you meet people is not as easy as it sounds. You know, to relentlessly focus on people's gifts and strengths and resilience and coping and potential, rather than look for their deficits and the things that they and others think need fixed in their lives, is a really difficult discipline to maintain. We truly believe that all means all. This does include everyone, but actually sometimes that can be really difficult. And to do all that whilst trying your very best to maintain a sense of authenticity of who you really are as a person is not easy. That quality of genuineness, I suspect, is one which is fundamental to really good working with people and really effective working with people. So practicing person-centredness is a critical aspect of the Thistle approach. But supporting self-organisation is too. We've come to believe and understand that how we organise ourselves in our work is actually also pretty fundamental. And actually a lot of the command and control structures that still persist into the 21st century and are absolutely rife within the health and social care sector can actually be unhelpful and damaging to that ambition of person-centredness in our day-to-day work. It might be seductive to leave difficult decisions to the boss, or expect them to fix when things are really difficult or there's really gnarly problems that what causes worry and concern. However, we kind of believe that that approach will always tend to undermine the possibility for people to actually rise to the occasion and be at their best and to show their gifts and strengths to their full as colleagues and co-workers. That's why we've been really focused in the last year or so in trying to redesign the way that we offer our support to others, trying to redesign it around the notion of small teams who self-organise, who make a lot of the decisions about what they're doing and how they're working alongside people, with the people themselves, and very close to that work, rather than it being ideas and policies that are handed down from on high. We think this really taps into individual workers' creativity, potential for innovation, and actually helps to create a greater sense of purpose and worth and meaning in day-to-day work. So for us, that way of organising ourselves and looking at how we work with one another in a genuine learning organisation is a crucial part of trying to create an organisation based on person-centredness in its relationships to the people we support and with each other. The final practice that we think is equally important and feeds into and reinforces the other two absolutely is working on well-being. 4 or 5 years ago, we rebranded the organisation as a health and wellbeing organisation. We're very clear that well-being means much, much more than the absence of ill health. Well-being is actually the place where I think people start to flower, and their contribution and their purpose and meaning begins to really flourish and develop. But what we hadn't quite, I think, appreciated enough 4 or 5 years ago was how important was it for that well-being not just to be in the context of us working alongside people to offer support to people with disabilities and long-term health conditions. That actually well-being was fundamental to all of us. If we're not attending to our own well-being as colleagues and people who are seeking to do something of use for other people, we will struggle to do that as well as we possibly can, and we will struggle to do that in a truly person-centred way. So well-being is for everyone. The people we work alongside, it's everyone who works in the organisation, and it's well-being as it relates to us and ourselves. We need to look after ourselves as well as try to support and enable others. So these, I believe, are the three kind of interlocking, as I said, and complementary practices which I think define the Thistle approach a little bit differently than any other similar approach. And we think it's at the heart of trying to create an organisation that works and serves other people in a way that is truly person-centred.